So excited to have us all get together for this event today. We're going to talk about how to get customers with artificial intelligence answering your calls. All right, go ahead and drop a note in the chat where you're joining us from. If you are able to pull up the chat window there, let us know where you're joining from. Great to have you with us here, Nate, Michael, Samori, Shane, Stephen. Nice. Philadelphia, Syracuse, Utah. Okay, Prosper, Texas, Los Angeles. Wow. This is awesome. All over the country. And want to give a special welcome to our guest speaker, Samori Coles, founder and CEO at Faya AI. And he'll be speaking with us a little bit later today. So you're in the right place if you are a business owner who wants to reduce missed calls, but you and your team are busy and can't always answer the phone. You want to be responsive to clients and prospects even after hours or during your vacation, so you end up never getting a break. And you may waste time calling people back for contact information or other missing information. So this event is probably not for you if you're happy with your current workload, don't want more customers, you insist on answering every call yourself, even if it means missed opportunities, or if you're unwilling to delegate tasks, even if AI could save you hours per week. So my promise to you is a clear roadmap to consistently book more clients, proven strategies to eliminate lost revenue from missed calls, and expert insights on using AI and automation to save you time. So in return, I ask your commitment to the process, a willingness to step outside your comfort zone, and honest effort and accountability. So some tips for watching this webinar. First of all, make sure you're in a quiet, distraction-free space. Stay present, take some notes, and come with an open mind. So during this webinar, you're going to learn the 3 biggest mistakes to avoid with client communication and my 3-step method to get customers with AI answering your calls. And we've got a bonus today for action takers. It's the missed call cost calculator to help you estimate the cost of these missed calls. So do you ever find yourself helping a client busy with another prospect and you get a phone call coming in and you've got to stop what you're doing and try to answer that call? Well, AI-powered receptionists help you avoid missed calls, get your nights and weekends back, and enjoy vacations while growing your business. So I'm Clinton. My wife and I currently live near Dallas with our 2 youngest children, and our children enjoy all kinds of sports and outdoor activities. And why listen to me? Well, I have an MBA and a computer science degree. I've got 9 years of experience helping enterprises leverage AI. And I'm excited to empower you and your business with AI. So where I started in 2016, I helped AWS launch 2 AI services, Amazon Poly and Amazon Recognition. So flashback to 2016, these are new AI services, text-to-speech, and image recognition. And AI voice assistants were fairly new and all the rage. So I launched my first voice-enabled app called Haunted House, and you can still find it up on the Alexa Skills website. And it was exciting. However, these were the early days, and voice-enabled apps required a lot of patience and often confused customers. So let's take a look at the timeline of AI receptionists. So in the 1940s, it really began with natural language processing. And in the 1960s, machine learning was introduced to help improve language processing. And then in the 90s, there were new advancements in speech recognition and early voice-controlled systems from companies like Dragon, Nuance, and IBM. And then in the 2010s, with cloud computing and machine learning, came these voice-enabled assistants like Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant. And in the 2020s, AI-powered receptionists emerged to handle customer interactions and automate tasks. And in the future, I think we're going to see increasingly sophisticated AI receptionists who are capable of handling complex customer interactions and providing personalized experiences. So the benefits with today's AI receptionists are natural sounding voices, they're fast and responsive, and they collect prospect details and automate workflows. And most importantly, you no longer have missed calls, no interruptions during your dinners or vacations, and no wasted time calling leads back for basic info. So let's talk about the three biggest mistakes to avoid with client communication. So mistake number one, not returning prospect calls within 5 minutes. So if you don't respond within 5 minutes, your chances of converting a lead drop by 400%. After 10 minutes, the prospect has likely moved on to a competitor. So why do business owners make this mistake? Well, they're often just busy helping other clients. 62% of business calls go unanswered, and 80% of callers won't leave a voicemail. Is this a problem you've experienced? Have you ever seen this? I mean, do you ever leave voicemails? And 78% of customers buy from the first business that responds. So when you start answering every prospect call, revenue increases. For example, if you're a home services business charging $1,600 for a typical job, and 25% of incoming phone calls turn into jobs, then every prospect call is worth $400. With an AI receptionist, I answer every prospect call, even when I'm helping another client. All right, so drop a 1 in the chat if you would like to increase revenue with an AI receptionist to answer more prospect calls. All right, seeing some 1s come in there. All right. Okay, let's talk about mistake number 2, taking customer and prospect calls after hours during your dinners and vacation. So why is this a problem? Well, background noise makes it difficult to hear, and you don't capture their contact info, and clients just don't feel valued. So why do business owners make that mistake? Well, they're trying to save costs and avoid missing job opportunities. But friends and family feel ignored. An after-hours receptionist helps you be present with your most important people. With an AI receptionist, I'm free to travel and spend time with family and friends. All right, so who here would like an AI receptionist to take calls when you are at dinner or on vacation? Drop a 2 in the chat if you would like to have that ability to get away. All right, seeing some 2s coming in. Nice. Yes. Who wouldn't want that? Okay, let's talk about mistake number 3, wasting time calling prospects back for their contact details. So business owners often miss key contact details for new prospects. Now, why do business owners make that mistake? Well, many business owners are in the field. They're plumbers, they're contractors, gym owners, and they can't write down these details while they're working or with another client. Chasing bad data wastes over 27% of B2B salespeople's time. But once you have a system to automatically collect contact details, you can relax knowing that you have all the key info. With an AI receptionist, I now capture leads from inbound calls on autopilot. All right, so who would like an AI receptionist to turn inbound calls into leads automatically? Drop a 3 in the chat. That would be helpful for you. All right, seeing the 3s pouring in. Nice. Okay. All right, jumping in now to this AI call conversion, which is my 3-step method to get customers with AI answering your calls. Okay, so it's 3 words, BTL. All right, let's jump into step number 1, B, build. So you got to create your AI receptionist. Choose a name, a language, a voice, and personality. So why is this important? Well, it's your brand's first impression. So you want to choose a voice that's clear, warm, and inviting to make callers feel comfortable. And the benefit of this is it builds trust. So it gives your AI receptionist a real name, like Mira, Vera, Ava, for example, and that makes the interactions feel more personal and human. It also gives you higher engagement rates. So callers are much more likely to ask questions, share their contact information, and do business with you. So why do most business owners skip this step? Well, they underestimate the brand element. So business owners rush to launch AI quickly and focus on the technical setup, the phone numbers and the integration and those things. But it's important to build. So select the right AI receptionist voice and personality, and that has helped me to increase engagement and build my brand. Okay, so let's meet Jake.
Hey, this is Jake at Wealth Advisors. How can I help you today?
Hi, Jake. Can you tell me a little bit about Wealth Advisors?
Absolutely. Wealth Advisors is all about improving financial literacy through educational services. We offer programs to help individuals and families understand financial strategies better. Plus, we provide insurance products through various providers to ensure you're covered. Anything specific you'd like to know more about?
Yes, I'd like to talk with an agent about term life insurance policies.
Got it. I'll have one of our team members reach out to you within one business day to discuss life insurance policies.
So there's an example of a voice AI agent, an AI receptionist with a voice and personality to make it personable and to engage the prospect in conversation. All right, Russell says very cool. So yeah, so first we got to build, choose their name, their voice, their personality. Next is T. T is for train. So you need to provide written instructions for your AI receptionist. That helps them better anticipate prospect questions and helps them provide complete answers. So why is this important? Well, it helps them understand your goals. A well-trained AI receptionist knows your business. And the benefit of this is improved conversion rates. So custom prompts teach AI how to handle FAQs, qualify leads, and gather the right contact details. Another benefit is this resolves questions on the first call, so it's less intervention and less follow-up required for the business owner. Now, why don't most people train their AI? Well, they think AI already knows. But similar to a human receptionist, your AI receptionist needs clear instructions to work effectively. So train, and by sharing details about my business with my AI receptionist, it has helped me answer FAQs efficiently. So here's an example. Let's meet Mira.
Hey, you have reached MadJaw. How can I help you today?
Hi, I'm curious, what are MadJaw AI receptionists?
MadJaw AI receptionists are fully trained agents designed to automate business interactions. They help businesses handle customer interactions efficiently, providing 24/7 support without the need for human intervention. Anything else you'd like to know?
How do they get trained?
They get trained using your website content, FAQs, and Google Docs. This ensures they understand your business and can interact with customers effectively. Anything else on your mind?
Can I customize them?
Absolutely. You can customize the voices and languages to fit your specific needs. Want to know more about how that works?
Yes.
Great. You can choose from a variety of voices and languages to match your brand's personality. This customization helps maintain consistency in customer interactions. If you have specific requirements, our team can assist in setting it up just right for you. Anything else you'd like to explore?
Is the data secure?
Yes, your data is secure. It's hosted on secure servers with robust encryption to ensure privacy and protection. Feel free to ask if you have more questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If there's anything else you need, just let me know. Have a great day.
So that's an example of one of my voice AI agents, an AI receptionist who helps answer questions for me in my business. So now you've started with a brand, a voice, an identity, and you've trained your AI receptionist. Okay, there's one more step, and that's with L. It's launch. So select a phone number for your AI receptionist and integrate them into your workflows. Why is this important? Well, your AI receptionist can deliver results once they're integrated and then let you focus on your work while the leads start appearing automatically. The benefit of this is now more lead flow. With proper integration, AI receptionists can sync with your CRM and workflows to capture and onboard leads effectively. Also, it lets you grow and scale so you can handle hundreds of calls per week without missing a beat. You can also route calls to the right team members when needed. So why do most business owners not launch? Well, they keep answering calls themselves out of habit. They activate AI, but don't share the new phone number with customers so no one calls it. And they don't update their website, social media, or marketing materials with a call now, call to action, leaving the AI underutilized. So by launching and integrating my AI receptionist into my workflows, it's helped me be able to respond to questions and generate leads, even when I'm on vacation. All right, let's meet Alex.
Hey, this is Alex at Pro Power Washers. How can I help you today?
Hi, Alex. I'd like to get a quote for my property.
Sure thing. I'll have a team member reach out to you with the details. Could I start by getting your name, please?
Sure, it's Clinton.
Just to make sure I've got it right, your name is Clinton. Is that correct?
Yes.
Great, Clinton. Could I have your email address so we can contact you?
Sure, it's sales@madjaw.com.
Just to make sure I've got it right, your email address is sales@madjaw.com. Is that correct?
That's right.
Awesome. Now, could I get your address, please?
Sure, it's 123 4th Street, Dallas, Texas, 76051.
Thanks for that. Just to confirm, your address is 123 4th Street, Dallas, Texas, 76051. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Perfect. A team member will reach out to you soon with the quote. Thanks for reaching out, Clinton. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
So in this example, Alex will actually go look up my property details as soon as he hangs up the call and look up the square footage of my property and estimate based on the size of my property how much it will cost to power wash it. And then he'll text me that quote within 30 seconds of the call. So very powerful once you integrate these AI receptionists into your workflows. So that's it. Build, train, and launch. And if you take one thing away, I want you to know that you can get more time freedom without missing out on new business. I've developed a 3-step method that makes it easy to get customers with AI answering your calls. So the big question is, how can you apply this method to consistently get customers without missed calls, interruptions during dinners or vacations, or wasted time calling leads back for basic info? Well, there's 2 choices. Number 1, you can just waste tons of time and effort spinning your wheels and try to figure it out alone. Or choice 2, you can fast track your results with my step-by-step method to get customers with AI answering your calls. And for the next 15 minutes, I'm giving away a fast action bonus. This is the missed call cost calculator. So this lets you estimate your revenue potential with AI based on the number of inbound calls you get, information about your prospect typical deal size, and all of this just for booking now for a demo at madjaw.com/demo. So book some time with me in the next 15 minutes. And if you do, you'll get this cost calculator for free. And we'd love to dive into your specific use case on a one-to-one call. With that, I'm now going to stop sharing and I'm going to hand it over to Samori Coles, who's our guest here today. Let me just stop sharing. All right, I'm going to invite you to
Hey, Clinton, how
unmute
are you? How
here.
is everybody? It's great to be here. Clinton, it doesn't look like I can turn on my video.
Okay, let me see if I can make that happen.
In the meantime, guys, if you guys were floored, I know I was floored when I first started working with AI. If you were floored by what AI can do, put a 1 in the chat for me. And also for the presentation that Clinton did. I think it was amazing. Give us a 1 just to show Clinton our appreciation. Yes, Nate, great. Russell, good to see you guys. Shane, and I will definitely do the same while we're getting, oh, we got the camera, good. So yes, again, It's good to be with you guys. My name is Samori Coles. I have been a business owner full time, an entrepreneur full time for about 22 years. So I come from being a local business owner, just like you guys. I see Tina. Hey, Tina. We did meet in Dallas. Good to see you. So I come from being a local business owner, just like you guys. And I tell you what, within the past 5 months, I've been able to put my business on autopilot, step away from it because of AI and automation. If that prospect excites you, put another one in the chat for me, please. Because I tell you, being a business owner, we all know that it's not easy. Somebody had an analogy one time. They said starting a business is like raising an alligator. You know, you start an alligator's cute, it's a little baby, it's staying under control, and it just gets bigger and bigger. It's eating more, and then one day it starts to nip at you, right? It starts to bite you. And I know for me, being an entrepreneur, just sometimes the overwhelm, it was too much. And so when I discovered AI and when I discovered automation, I started to deploy it in my business. And again, like I said, that business is now on autopilot. And I've recently launched an AI and automation tool, which is called Fire.ai. So let me share my screen. And I'd like to share a little bit about my backstory. All right, so I want to talk to you guys about AI, automation, a streamlined business system. So again, I was actually born in Omaha, Nebraska. I live out in the Philly tri-states now, but I was born and raised in the Midwest. And like I said, I've been a full-time entrepreneur for more than 20 years now. And I founded Fire AI Business Systems. And so what we do is we help businesses deploy and train AI employees and build custom automation systems. And let me make sure I'm sharing my screen. Am I sharing my screen, Clinton? Let me see. Somebody let me know in the chat if I'm sharing. Yes, I am. Good. Thank you. Appreciate that. So like I said, we help businesses deploy and train AI employees, and we build custom automation systems. Now, I graduated from Creighton University with a business degree in 1995 with dual majors in finance and marketing. And so I began my career as a financial analyst. But there was a twist, plot twist. I discovered home recording in 1996 when some of my buddies from my neighborhood were making music in their home studios. Now, these were before the days of Pro Tools and computer-based recording, but for me at the time, the idea that I could, record a song, put it on cassette, leave a session and listen to my own music, it just blew my mind. And I knew my life was going to change. So after, about a year or two, making home-based recordings in my hometown, got a couple songs on the radio, I left my career as a financial analyst and I jumped on a Greyhound bus headed for the East Coast. Now, my whole goal and dream was to make music, right? Was to perform on stages, which I had the chance to do. But I tell you what, in the early days, it was absolutely a struggle. So I had to bootstrap my business. So I did work at Coca-Cola Enterprises as an account manager and then spent about a year in pharmaceutical sales for a Midwestern pharmaceutical company called Schwartz Pharma. And then around 2003, I started just full time in the music business. I didn't look back. And so I have a recording studio still based in Philadelphia. It's called Little Drummer Boy Recordings. And we've been recording everything from bands, podcasts, audiobooks, and even training individuals how to record and mix their own music. But again, the early days were a struggle. You all are business owners. It's not always easy. There are definitely ups and downs. And for me, I didn't understand the importance of systems, or really how to create a viable one for my business operation. I was one of those business owners who was, day to day in my business, always working in my business, and I didn't have a lot of time to work on my business. So I knew something had to change. And for me, I believed that the answer was in marketing. So starting in about 2017, I started a deep dive into digital marketing. And so I invested in coaching programs, masterminds, digital courses, hours on YouTube, everything that I can do to figure out how can I grow my business. So that eventually led me through one of these mastermind programs discovering an enterprise grade software system. And this was about 2022. And me and my team, we started to build upon it. We started to customize it and make it our own. And then around mid 2023, I discovered AI through ChatGPT. So initially, it was learning how to build prompts. It was spending hours and hours trying to figure it out. I remember I was so excited with what AI could do that I started doing everything from trying to learn how to code through AI, having it do coding for me, building out workout plans, just everything I could figure out. But I really enjoyed what the possibilities were. So that enterprise grade software system that I told you about, we ended up deploying it full time into my studio. That software is called Fire.ai. And it allowed me to put my studio operation on autopilot and focus my time continuing to develop the system. And so now what I'm able to do is help other businesses train and deploy AI employees and build out custom automated systems for their operations. So let me show you what I did in my business to actually put it on autopilot. Because, if you've never been an entrepreneur, sometimes you really don't understand what that day-to-day struggle and that day-to-day journey is like. Sometimes money is tight, right? Sometimes staffing is difficult. Marketing is always a thing that we're trying to focus on, trying to bring in new leads, trying to grow the business. But I realized that there were four things that a business had to do in order to grow, right? The first thing is a business has to capture new leads. That has to be an ongoing process. You always have to have prospects coming in the door, calling you, DMing you, so that you can ultimately turn them into sales. Once you capture those leads, you have to conversationally convert them. So right now, you might be pretty much making phone calls to people. They might be jumping on your calendar, but you have to get them to the point where they're booking with you so that you can convert them. Then, of course, because of the Google algorithm, you have to turn those sales into positive reviews. The more positive reviews that you get in your local market, the greater likelihood Google is going to serve your business up when people are searching for your niche. And then finally, you have to reactivate those customers into repeat buyers. And once I discovered that really what it was all about, I started to squarely put my focus right there into capturing leads, converting them into sales, turning them into positive reviews, and reactivating them into repeat buyers. That's where AI and automation came in because I realized that I could really remove myself from a lot of this process. And AI and automation could take over and do a lot of this, which freed up a lot of time. Freed up a lot of time for me and my team to focus on what we do. Once leads are captured, that's the big thing, right? Once leads are captured, the system completely takes over. Now, capturing leads is, a topic we could talk about, for the rest of today and tomorrow, right? But to capture leads, you're going to run paid ads, obviously, organic social media, networking organizations and activities. That's actually where I met Clinton, just a wonderful colleague to have. It was a networking event, right? SEO. So there's a number of different ways to capture leads. But once you get them in, right, and you bring them into an AI and automation based system, that's when the magic begins. Because number one, the lead comes in. And we talked about, there's different ways that they're going to come into your system. But then, like Clinton showed you, and I'll demonstrate how it works for my studio as well, An AI employee is going to start that conversation, and sometimes they're going to finish that conversation, depending on your system, depending on what you want them to do. I know for us at the recording studio, a lot of times we'll have the AI employee just send the link so that the prospect can book the studio session themselves. So there's many times we don't even talk to a prospect, which becomes a client, until they actually come into the studio. So you might have a different type of business. So after the AI employee starts that conversation, appointments are booked. And again, AI can book that appointment, or again, they can send that prospect a link, or if you're using some type of landing page, obviously, and you send that prospect to a form, once that form is filled out, then they can be forwarded right to a calendar. So in our system, after that appointment is booked, then we create pipeline actions, right? So a pipeline is just a way for us to follow that customer journey. But those pipeline actions are created in the system as well. And within this pipeline, we're able to see, okay, who booked an appointment, what's their name, what's their number. We can assign them to a member of the team who will follow up with them. And then you and your team convert the sale. And that's what we've been doing at the recording studio. And again, I've been able to walk away from that business because AI and automation are handling a lot of it for us. Once you convert that sale, you want those reviews. Like I said before, those reviews are powerful. So review requests are actually initiated by the system as well. You don't have to ask people, hey, can you send me a review? The way we set it up within the system is once that session is over or once that appointment is over, we go into the pipeline and just within the pipeline, drag that customer's card over to the next leg of the pipeline, and a review request is automatically initiated. Once that customer reviews, AI responds to the review. And then finally, right, we have an automated database reactivation campaign, again, that's set up within the system. And when I say this freed up my time, I mean it literally. I got to the point where I was, working in the studio about 6 hours a week, because a lot of the mundane tasks that I was doing, answering the same questions over and over, doing follow-up, looking for reviews, the system was able to handle it for me. And so that's been my story, everybody. That's been my story on how AI and how automation has allowed me to put, that business. I'm at the recording studio now, but I'm here because I wanted to be here for the webinar. I want to show you what happens when you actually call our studio. And so we actually named our AI agent Jasmine. And Clinton was exactly right. You want to give it a name. So let's call Jasmine and try to book a session.
Thank you for calling LDB. I'm Jasmine, LDB's AI support. How can I help?
Yes, how much to book a session?
I'm sending the booking link now. You should receive it shortly. Booking a session costs $65 per hour with a 2-hour minimum. I've sent you a link with more details and to book your session. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Yeah, what type of music do you record?
We specialize in a variety of genres, including hip hop, R&B, gospel, pop, singer-songwriter, rap, and more. Is there a specific genre you're interested in?
No, I think that helps. I think I'd like to speak to a human though.
One moment, I'll transfer you. I'll transfer you now. Hi, this is Maria with Roll German Boy Recordings. How can I help?
Hey, Maria, I'm actually on a webinar right now, but I'll talk to you a little later, okay? All right, take care. Yeah, so that's how it works for Little Drummer Boy, and that's how AI and automation has allowed me to put my business on autopilot. And I just ask you, if you think that a system like this could help your business, put a 1 in the chat for me. Yeah. Okay. I see them coming in. I'm telling you because I know it'll help any business, any business can benefit from automation. Any business can benefit from AI. And Clinton, I appreciate your time, and I definitely recommend that you all reach out to Clinton. He's a colleague, not a competitor, and he does absolute great work. Thanks so much, everybody.
Awesome presentation, Samori. All right, let's give it up for Samori Coles. All right, now let me let you each unmute yourselves. If you'd like to ask any questions, feel free to drop in the chat. And yeah, I would love to just have an open conversation here, hear your thoughts, feedback, and see what you'd like to explore in terms of next steps.
Great job, guys, both of you. Samori, is your target customers that you're working with primarily in the music recording industry, or do you focus on other industries as well?
Well, one of our niches is recording studios because I know that business very well, but we also work with local businesses in our region. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, Nate, did you want to jump in? Go ahead. See,
Yeah, it looked like it was taking me a second to be able to unmute, but hey, my biggest question right now, I'm looking to work with Spanish speaking market. How do Spanish speaking assistants how well is that technology coming along?
Oh, great question. Yeah, in fact, I just set one up for my very first client just this past week. So let's pull it up and let you speak with her. So
Oh, sweet.
yeah, let's do it live here. All right, so let me just pull up the phone number. Okay, and her name is Elena. So she's a Spanish speaker, so it's like an Argentinian voice. Okay, so let's give her a call real quick.
I can't hear very well. I wasn't able to hear that.
Let me try it again here. Oh, I think I dialed wrong.
The service you're attempting to use has.
Oh, that's all right. Let me just make sure I get the right phone number. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah, so when you set up your AI receptionist, you can choose a language that they speak.
Okay.
So let me just pull this one up so you can give it a try. And what's really nice too is that the AI receptionist can also transfer calls. So for example, I set up a receptionist for this first client that if the prospect says, hey, I really want to speak in Spanish, the AI agent can actually transfer the call over to Elena. So, okay. Let me just make sure I've got this set up.
Hola, habla Elena de Prolis Garage Doors de Keller. ¿En qué le puedo ayudar hoy?
Quiero saber más sobre su negocio, qué servicios ofrecen.
Claro. En Prolis Garage Doors de Keller ofrecemos una variedad de servicios para puertas de garaje y portones. Esto incluye reparación y reemplazo de puertas y operadores, instalación, mantenimiento y ajuste, servicios para abridores. También hacemos reparaciones e instalaciones comerciales. ¿Hay algo específico que le gustaría saber más?
No, por ahora está muy bien.
Perfecto. Si tiene alguna otra pregunta o necesita ayuda, no dude en llamarnos. Que tenga un excelente día.
Gracias, Elena.
That's nice.
No, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so we have quite a few languages available now to us, including German, Dutch, Spanish. So it's really nice that you can tailor this to your different prospect audiences and either use a different phone number if you know they're going to be calling in for those different language needs, but you can also have a transfer. So it supports Portuguese, German, Italian, Dutch, French, and of course English and Spanish. So
And Clinton, if I could say something really quick,
you bet.
Clinton said this, but it's so important. That call transfer function is incredible. So some people are just going to want to talk to a human, you know, as especially as AI becomes more and more prevalent and people know that they're talking to an AI employee, they're going to want to talk to a human. So the ability to make that transfer is great. Also, if you have different departments. So for example, one use case at the recording studio is, you know, we'll have an engineer at the studio and my executive assistant is not located at the studio. So for example, if Jasmine, our AI assistant, answers the call and says, hey, and they say, hey, I'm running late for a session, Jasmine will know she needs to transfer it to the studio so that the engineer will know this person is running late. So again, that has been so useful for us. And it's good that transfer function works so well.
And just a follow-up question real quick, Clinton. I imagine that the assistant can be trained and should be trained in Spanish. But how well does kind of some of the training translate, or is there any way to kind of train it faster by having it learn based on kind of translated information from English? How does that work?
Well, the training for Elena, for example, that was all done in English. And so I
Okay.
just simply switched her voice over to a Spanish voice. And so she just already knew how to.
And so she's just basically using machine translation to produce the verbiage that she's using, right?
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So
That
any of your
answered my question perfectly.
yeah. So it's pretty amazing. Yeah. Any of your staff can train for any of these languages. So you can basically just put a document. I use a Google Doc, so we'll often gather all the information in one place. And that's something that I help clients do is go through, understand the foundation of their business and put together this document, which you can also use as part of your standard operating procedures in your business to onboard a virtual assistant. Because sometimes, at some point in the prospect flow, once you know they're a qualified lead, you may want to hand it off to a virtual assistant, for example, so you can give them the same background information. So the only limit is you've got a 2,000 word limit for training, but generally I find that's plenty to give, some really good context, answer, the most frequently asked questions and, help qualify the leads.
How many steps do you kind of get into as far as workflows? Say you offer 5 primary different services or whatever, and then how far down into a hierarchy are you able to refer people with your AI assistant?
Well, it's really on what I've seen. I'll let Samori speak to it, but what I've seen is it's as complex as you want it to be. So you can keep it really simple and just say, I want name, email, address, phone number. They typically, capture off of the caller ID. But you can say, I want to capture, those basic things, or you can give it more explicit instructions to look for certain info. For example, one client working with wanted, if someone asked for a particular person at the office who they normally will ask for, to at least request, hey, what is this in regards to? Like, what is the call about? And that just helps filter out so many spam calls and telemarketing calls. And then you saw the example with the Pro Power Wash. fictitious power washing company where once it's got the address, it kicks off a workflow that can go then pull the property details for a commercial residential property. So you get the beds, baths, number of stories, lot square footage, the main building square footage to do estimates. And of course, you can kick off a whole workflow similar to this webinar workflow that you were part of, which is email sequences, text messages, and follow-ups that happen over the course of, days, weeks, or months. So Maury, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm curious, Nate. I heard you say services. Was your question, were you also asking how many services can the bot be trained on, or did I mishear you?
Yeah, I mean so I was kind of the impetus behind the whole wealth advisors bot that Clinton mocked up for us in the beginning. But there's all kinds of things that people could want to know about related to their finances, as you know, it sounds like, and so it's like, are you? And when I called Jake up, I was, I asked about a 401k, and he was able to say, hey, are you interested in rolling that over or growing it, or what are you trying to do with it? And then, obviously there's other insurance products and different types of investments and 529 plans or estate plans and trusts, or there's all kinds of different products that people could be interested in. And it's just how complicated can it get? I imagine, but more than anything, I think what I see is that we're trying to capture a lead and get these people in front of somebody who can spend some time on them as potential clients, and there's any number of ways to be able to do that. But I think you obviously have to feel like, as a customer, you have to feel like the AI assistant is directing you in the right is putting you in the right direction, in contact with the right type of person.
Yeah, that's true. And so one of the things we're doing with a client, and I know Clinton's system has the same capabilities, is you can set up what's known as an IVR system, right? So a system where when someone calls, we've all heard it before. Hey, if you're interested in financial planning, click one. If you're interested in this
Sure,
other, click two. If you're interested in this other
it
thing, click.
routes.
It routes, and then wherever it routes it to, you can have a bot that specifically focuses on that thing. Because one of the things I've seen with AI is the more simple that you can keep the prompt, the more effective it is. The less you put it into a box. Because early on for me, as I was training bots for my own business and for other folks, I was kind of putting it in too much of a box, trying to get it to do too many things. But having a routing system, which again, Clinton, his system does that as well. I think that'd be a great way if you have a bunch of services.
Sure. Fantastic. Great answers to the questions. It seems so powerful.
Absolutely is.
Yeah, thank you, Nate, for those questions. Anyone else have questions about this service, about these AI receptionists and some of the possibilities?
I have one random question, and thank you so much. This has been very eye-opening. Do AIs, or do you typically recommend that the AI assists introduce themselves as such, and an AI kind of personality?
Oh, good question, Shane. So I have found that people like to just jump right into a conversation. So if it takes too long in the beginning introducing itself, then some people think it's, leave a voicemail sort of response. So I kind of keep it really short so that people can hopefully share something meaningful in the very beginning. And then as it goes on, I think most people sort of see that it's, realize that it's an AI responding, because there is still a slight delay. Some of the responses, still a little bit mechanical sounding, so it's not perfect. And it does always mention that they'll connect them with a representative or with the owner, so that it's clear that they're not going to be the one necessarily to answer the question. So, but people seem to be just fine interacting with them as that. And then They also really focus on keeping the conversation on topic. So that's one risk of using AI, but with the training that we do for these, the prompting helps make sure if they're asking about how to bake cookies or something off topic, we bring it back to the subject at hand. Hope that answers your question, Shane.
Perfect.
Yeah, I know Samori's assistant said, "Hey, this is Jasmine, LDB's the AI assistant." So yeah, but it was quick, like you say. I mean, it wasn't cumbersome at all, or it wasn't a letdown. It seemed like to me. So I think you could
Yeah,
do it either way.
yeah, and I found, Nate, that so initially I didn't have her introduced as an AI assistant, and it was confusing callers. Because what we do is we have every call recorded. So my assistant goes in and listens to every call just to see if there's any issues that we have to deal with or revamp or the prompt a little bit. So people were getting confused. So I just decided to say, hey, I'm
It was too
Jasmine.
good.
Yeah, LDB's AI assistant. So yeah, that's why we chose to do it that way.
Great question. Yeah, and thank you, Samori, for sharing that best practice.
Sure.
So we're going to do a whole series of these. Looking forward to reconnecting with you. I've already got someone lined up for our May webinar who's going to be showing us some really cool things around using AI for images, where she's able to take your photo and put it over these amazing backgrounds that you never would imagine you could be in this kind of a background. So we'll have some really other amazing, great guest speakers. But just want to say a huge shout out to Samori for taking the time and preparing for this conversation and discussion today. It was a great presentation.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it. Great group.
Fantastic. All right, everyone. So stay tuned. We'll be meeting again next month. So watch for a link to the April webinar. And looking forward to answering your questions and giving you one-on-one demos to explore how you can use AI for your business.
Thanks.
Well, Jabril, how are you, sir?
Hey, Samar, what's up, man?
All right, real good. Good to see you, man.
Same here. All right, it's awesome.
Upstairs. Thanks so much. Good to see you, Jabril.
Yeah, same here.
Awesome.
We'll talk a little bit. This is awesome, man.
Sounds good. Yes,
All right.
let's do.
Yes, sir. I just got a client. Thanks to you. Say that.
Wow, awesome.
He just joined the SAS. What did you think about it?
It was amazing.
Really?
Tell them what you liked about which part.
The language, how it could speak different languages. I thought that was really, really cool.
All right, we're on the right track. Let's go.
That is phenomenal. Congrats.
You just signed. All right. Bye.
Congrats. All right.
Thanks.
Take care, Jabril.
All right. Bye-bye.
I'm out,
All right, we'll
guys.
see you, everyone.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. All right, thanks again, Samori. This was amazing. And yeah, can't wait to hear everyone's success with these as we go forward and use AI more in our businesses.
Sure. We'll talk soon. Take care, Clint.
All right, take care. Bye now.